Hello, I've towed a camper with an EV, a Tesla Model X, for about 4 years now. And then this year, in November, we got our Rivian R1T Max Pack because I wanted a little bit more range when towing the camper. And the Model X kind of does okay, but there are times where we had some gaps that were a little trickier. And also the Rivian gives us a little bit better off-road vehicle for when we do reach our campsite and then want to do a little exploring. We do a lot of national parks and things like that, and sometimes they have 4x4 roads that we would take some of them with the Model X, but sometimes it got a little sketchy, and I think it'll be a little bit better exploring with the Rivian. But the point being, back to the original story, is I get asked questions, and everybody who tows gets asked the question, well, what kind of range you get with that? And it really, really, really varies. I mean, we live in the Southwest, and so we do a lot of uphills and downhills. This particular run was from close to Chula Vista, California. We were at Sweetwater Summit Reservoir Campground, and we drove home to Prescott, Arizona. That involves, not very high elevation in Chula Vista, maybe, 100 feet or something like that. I don't know, it's not very much. I might mention it in the video. And then we go over a mountain range and then drop down below sea level and then back up over another mountain range, kind of down a little bit, and then back up again to Prescott, which is about a mile high at our house. So there's a lot of elevation change, which of course varies the overall efficiencies, and not really efficiencies, but they're the efficiencies, because climbing, it sucks power like nobody's business. Going down, you get a regen. So it really, really does vary. And the Rivian supposedly gets 410 miles, but when you're towing, people say about half that. I think I get better than that. I do keep speeds at 60 miles an hour when towing, and when I think I did part of the last part of this trip, I think I slowed up a bit of it to 55 miles an hour, just so I could make sure I could make it up the hill. It was only 150 miles from my last charge up to the hill to home, but that's a big climb going from Quartzsite up to Prescott. You have to go over a 6,000 foot mountain and then drop down the other side to my house at 52. But again, it goes up and down as you go. It's not like it's a constant climb or constant descent. There's just a lot of up and downing when you're doing a route like that. So anyway, without too much further ado, and my great video skills here, you'll see what it looks like to drive from basically San Diego, South San Diego, Chula Vista area to Prescott, and kind of what's going through my head anyway as I'm driving along and enjoying just the drive. In this particular drive, I was going solo. My wife was in our other car, our Tesla, and she took a different route because she had to go pick up our dog from some friends who were watching our dog for us while we went to a baseball game the night before. Way too much information. But from there, she picked up the dog and she met me in Quartzsite after I had already been there charging. So that's one of the reasons I charged up there to 100%, because I had plenty of time to wait for her to try to catch up with me. So anyway, without too much further ado, here's the video of me driving our Rivian R1T Max Pack Dual Performance from Chula Vista, pulling our camper, Safari Condo, Alto A2124. Fully loaded is about 3,600 pounds. So, and it's built to be aerodynamic. So that's pretty good efficiency compared to what you might get with other trailers. So, your mileage may vary if you're pulling something else like an Airstream or one of those big, wooden things with corrugated metal on the outside that really is not very efficient at all. So, there you go. This is just one simple trip, towing a trailer. It's about 380 miles total, 2 charge stops, and that's about it. All right, the car's charged up to 100%. It says 257 miles worth of range. Let's go over here. A good tire pressure, it looks like, more or less. And trip A is been reset, and we are ready to, my elevation is 456 feet. I have to go up over a mountain and back down again. But I'm gonna go taking off now at, what time is it? Come on, baby. Tell me the time. 9:28. Good deal. Towing, I hate dealing with things like this because I don't have adaptive cruise control when you're towing. It's just, you're on your own. So it says brake, you know, whatever. You're responsible for braking when you've got it turned on. I don't have it turned on because it would just run right into the cars, or I'd have to say, set it for like, well, 11 miles an hour. And it doesn't set to 11 miles an hour. Minimum is 20. So we've got this big red line that we're currently going on. And it's supposed to end up here when the other freeway merges in, and maybe people get off to go to 94 east, I don't know, west, something. Look over here. We're doing 1.41 right now, which isn't that great, but I've been going downhill because it's 396 now. 397, I guess I'm going uphill right now, but overall gone downhill. But it's been a bunch of stop and go, of course, and this lovely traffic right here. All right, cruising along at a nice 60 miles an hour. Still got a good 93% full, and the speed limit is 65, but I'm not exactly being left in the dust. There are people, yes, passing me. Trailer back there. There's a truck, camper coming by, but not exactly ripping it up the road, which is fine. We're currently averaging 1.45 miles per kilowatt. I'm pulling the trailer, which again, there's yay right back there. Ooh, that's the camera. There you go. Now you can see the trailer. And gone 15.2 miles. We got a long way to go. It's a total of like 380 miles, 382 miles. So buckle in. Up that scenic right here. This is what San Diego looks like, or East San Diego, or actually more or less east of El Cajon on I-8. Heading over to El Centro, which is our first stop and charge, and then from there it's across the desert up to Quartzsite for a second charge, and then into Prescott. Looks like I gotta get out of this turn lane, and I've got a truck coming up, so I gotta do some feeling out here. What I want to say too is, see, I'm passing trucks because right now we're climbing up the hill, and we'll be climbing up the hill mostly for the next, I don't know, 80 or 90 miles to get to the pass. And the pass is, whoa, he tried to come over and go around me the other way. Shouldn't have done that. Anyway, the pass is at about 4,500 feet, so not too high. We are currently at 664 feet. So, got a ways to go. Let's say I am somewhat impressed with this right now, the Ranger, whatever, because it says I got 90 miles to go. I'm going to arrive with 123 miles. It's been saying 123 miles for a long time, which gives me a lot of confidence, but it doesn't change a lot. But now it says 124. There you go, change a little bit, but that's actually for the better, so I'm all good with that. Oh, look at this. We got a slow truck passing another slow truck, so you worry about me going 60 here in a, well, now 70 miles an hour section. Not a problem when you got trucks passing trucks going slower than that. But anyway, we're working our way up the hill, no problem, 60 miles an hour. Anyway, what I was going to say is, look at the range there on the truck using the rated range or whatever. We're pulling the trailer now, of course. It says 216. If I take 216 minus the 90, well, 124 plus 80 or plus 90 is 213, which is not very far from that number right there. So that's actually pretty freaking good. As we get stuck going in one lane, going up the hill here, I am not the slow one on the parade here that's holding things up. It's actually, that guy's going pretty fast. I actually managed to get by a really slow moving truck before it went down to one lane. We've been going one lane for a couple, 3 miles. And I don't know when it should break up here soon. And you'll see a lot of single lane traffic. So that's what it is. We are now at almost 4,000 feet, and I've dropped down to below 1 mile per kilowatt overall, just because I knew it was going to do that. This is a big climb, as I said, up to about 4,500 feet. So we're getting close. I think I actually go up 4,500 feet, then you go down, and you go back up again, you go down, and you go back up one more time. But we're almost there, and we're doing fine. My projected range is still 179 miles, and I've got, well, I don't know what it is because I'm looking at the wrong screen. That's okay though. It's been tracking pretty well. I think my estimated arrival miles is now 122 instead of 124, so still in the same ballpark. Not bad. Still pretty happy with everything going on. Heading back to Prescott, which is at our house is at about 5,200 feet. So we do have more hill climbing to do because I'm going to go over this hill here and then drop down into El Centro, which is actually below sea level, and then I got to climb back out of below sea level back up to Prescott. Overall, I mean, there's still some up and downs along the way, so not exactly flat towing here. But the Rivian is doing great. The Rivian is just, you know, rock solid, not a problem. See, the motors are getting a little toastier, but they're still way down in the lower range, and the battery's up there about 90 degrees, which is a little warm for charging, but still not really that hot. So I think we're all good. And we just passed the last of the construction, I think. Maybe. It's not opening back up though, and I don't like really going on this half shoulder thing. This is silly. And look, we got downhill now before we have to climb back up again. Like I said, you go up and you go down, and you go up and you go down. It's really fun. We are at about, what did I say, 4,000 feet right now, but now going downhill for a bit. And regen is looking like it's working perfectly fine. We are doing 57, so not too bad. And just plugging along. Got a long way to go yet. All right, looking at preconditioning the battery for fast charging, and we're still 64 miles out. So I'm not sure what that's about, but you know, it starts way early. We got another hour to go before we get there. Actually, an hour and 4 minutes because I'm going 60 miles an hour. And actually, through town will be a little slower than that, so yeah, even longer. But looking at the math, what do we got there? We got 126 plus 63 is 189. And this is saying 175 miles worth of range. Now, that's probably because we're getting close to being done climbing and we're going to be doing a big descent. So that's why we're going to kind of do better than the quote the rated range here, which is rated for flat. We are again, as I said, doing 60 at 70 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour coming up. Doing another climb here. As I said, you go down, you go up, you go down, you go up. And crossed over the Laguna Summit, which was, I think, 4,085 feet, and then downhill a bit. And then, of course, now going back uphill. I think the highest one is 4,500 feet. I just don't remember exactly which. Right now, we are all the way down to 32, and motors are decently warm. The battery's cooling off a little bit. I think that's the preconditioning part. It'll get down within the 177 range or so before, or excuse me, 77 range for fast charging. So it's got to cool the battery off a little bit, and it probably, you know, I'm not sure what it's going to happen because climbing is sucking battery, and then when I go back downhill, all the regen is going to heat the battery up too. So it's got to do some work. Currently at 41.43, we went over a pass at 41.68 or something like that. You notice the windmills. Windmills mean it's generally a windy location. I checked the weather report. Today was not a bad day up here. It's only supposed to be like 14 miles an hour winds with about 28 mile an hour gusts, something like that. So not too bad at all for this pass. It can be certainly a lot windier. I did pass a sign that says gusty wind area ahead, and we're in it. Note the windmills, that's why. Not the windmills cause the wind, but the windmills where the wind is. So we're doing fine though. Still says, I gotta see what it says. I'm gonna come over here. Do a little bit of navigation and see what it says. We're gonna get there with 126. We're getting better all the time. That's ridiculous. And only 54 miles to go. So when you know you have less miles than the rated range you're supposed to have when you get there, you're good. And it says 126 plus 55 is 179. and we're 155 miles worth of range because, again, we're still climbing the frickin' hill. So it notes we're going to go down the hill pretty shortly. I think it's more like about 30 miles out, so another 20 miles worth of climbing or going up and down, and et cetera, et cetera. That's about it. But maybe this is the summit. Let's see what it says here. Is this the summit sign? Let's go back to Tech Divide 4140. 4140. Is that the best we're going to do? I thought I went higher than that. Maybe it's not so bad. It's not as bad as it when you go over the other mountains towards Palm Springs. That's more like 49 or something like that. It gets almost to 5,000, but not quite there. Looks like we're going to be going downhill. And yes, we are regenning. Pretty sweet. And we're at 4053 according to this, so this thing tracks pretty well as far as the elevation goes. It's, you know, within, well, certainly within 100 feet. I'd think it's even more like within 50 feet usually. Here it is right here. It says 4056, so forth. And right there it's telling us elevation 4,000 feet. So we're, like I said, that's within 15 feet or so. That's pretty dang good. I love this area through the rocks. It's pretty cool. It's a rock slide area. We'll keep an eye out for boulders coming our way. But isn't this cool? It's like almost solid boulders right there. Not much, except for boulders. Big rocks. Yeah, these are big rocks too. And more windmills on the hill. Way over there. So you know we're still in the windy zone. And basically still going downhill. Again, I don't think it's downhill all the way. I thought we had one more hill, but we'll find out. We are passing by the Jacumba Hot Springs here, which is about the closest approach on I-8 you're going to get to Mexico, at least here in California. And if you look over there, I guess a little bit, you can see that's the border wall, I'm guessing. It goes across right there. So over yonder, that's a Mexico. Over here is California. And those are still windmills up on the hill. And that was not a lane crossing, that was just the dark to light color in the road. Give me a break. Runaway truck ramp in 5 miles. I'm guessing we're starting our big descent. We're only at 3,200 feet, so yep, that last pass was the highest point, 41 whatever it was. Truck speed limit is 35 miles an hour. I can do 60 still because, well, it's 65 mile an hour zone now. It actually has 35 on here because of the truck speed. That's interesting. But anyway, going to be descending down into El Centro. So it's a lot of downhill, and there are some turns along it to go down the hill. But it's basically kind of regen city. Regenning, well, I'm using a little bit of power right now because we're going basically uphill just a touch. What am I up to now? Again, I'm back up to 1.3, so it has been going downhill and been getting a little bit better. And I imagine I'm going to see a bigger number when I get down to El Centro, which is below sea level. So slow trucks ahead. There's my, well, Bighorn sheep sign. That's not the one I'm looking for. This over here. 6% downgrade, truck shoes, low gear. But you only got one gear and it's all regen, baby, until that gets too hot and then I have to use brakes. We'll see how long it takes. Imperial County line. And just crossing what it said San Diego County line. This is kind of a fun section of road because you go back and forth between the counties multiple times. Here we are, San Diego County line. We're back in San Diego County. And then as we come around the corner here, I believe we will now be in because the road just kind of goes northwest. Oh, goodness sakes. Should see Imperial County over here. I think that's the last crossing. Here we come. Imperial County, yay. Okay, we're in Imperial County now, I think, for the last time. I don't think we crossed back into San Diego. Pressing on, and we're still going downhill. Yes, definitely going downhill. Exit 80. Still a lot of rocks. That's what we got here, baby. In truck 35 speed limit, so we have pretty much finished with the 6% downgrade thingamabob. We're still at 62%. We're now pushing 1.59 miles per kilowatt. Pretty good. And we're at 690 feet, so we've got another 720 or so to El Centro. It is below sea level, so a little bit more regenning, or at least reduced consumption going down the hill, the rest of the hill, and we're looking pretty good. I mean, I've got 62% still in the battery, and only maybe 30 miles to go, something like that. Nothing. Pretty awesome. Here it is, Ocotillo Imperial Highway. I need to go to Ocotillo. Look at that. And it says 28 miles to go. I was right with my 30. And 126 miles arrival, so it's been pretty locked in solid. I mean, from 122 to 126 now. That's the range it's been giving me since the get-go, so figured out the trailer fairly well, and we're doing pretty excellent. Coming to say that this trucks are 55 with towing, which technically is me, but trucks go faster too, so nobody's going to bother me at 60 miles an hour. Lots of windmills out here still. This is still a windy area, but it's a beautiful day today. We're sitting at now a nice hot 84 degrees. I've got the AC running and I've got my butt coolers going. Those are awesome, by the way. That is an excellent, excellent feature. Thank you, Rivian. Thank you, RJ. Point out, my instantaneous right now is ridiculous. It's like 3.88, and because it's just been pegged up there, I've been kind of going down the hill and obviously regenning, so it's pretty funny. You know, you see people post things, yeah, well, you know, you come down a big hill and from 4,000 feet to 321 feet, you're gonna generate some electricity and not use much, so looking good. Out here, it's just looking like El Centro. A lot of desert. Some Ocotillo plants. And desert broom. And a bunch of other plants I don't know the name to. There you go. I can't believe I was worried about getting here over the mountain. It's ridiculous. I made sure I charge up to 100%, so I'd make sure, because there is nothing out here. You've got to make El Centro. That's all there is. But I can't believe it. You know, I'm about, what to say now, I've got another 15, what to say, 12 miles till I turn off, and there's 2 miles up there, so 14 miles till I get to my charger. And I've got 58% still in the battery. So this was a super easy drive for the old Rivian here. I think it would have been a stretch for the Tesla going up the mountain, pull the trailer, but super easy. Going the other direction is actually harder, I think. Well, going up to Ramona is where we used to live was harder because you have to climb back up another hill on the other side too. So, but anyway, this is pretty cool, pretty nice. Pretty nice drive so far. Beautiful day. It's now 86 out here, so it's toasty out here in the desert. I've got the seat chillers going on. I got the air conditioner running. It's pretty comfortable here in the cab, and just enjoying the drive. So I got now 11 miles to my turnout. Pretty cool. I was going to say, we're going to go by a water tower here that says, you know, it has the line on it that says sea level. And so I'll see if I can point that out when we go by. This might have bottomed out. It was at minus 33 feet. Now we're at minus 32 feet. So I don't know if it goes any lower in this area. See, now we're minus 31. So we're actually climbing back up. There's minus 30. So maybe minus 34 was about as low as we were going to get here. Out in El Centro. Not quite to town yet. It's like a lot of hay country here. Down to 57%. Currently with 139 miles of range, 10 miles, still conditioning the battery, and we're going to get to 127 miles with the range, so it'll be 137, and that's 138, so that's pretty much right on the money. I'm impressed. I've never seen this, I guess because I've always been driving in winter before. It's always been doing much worse because of all that needed to eat or whatever, cold air. That's pretty good. What's our battery at? See, our battery's been chilling down. It's at a nice 78 degrees. Getting ready to go for charging. We've got 101 miles. And I got used, 44% of the battery. So that's pretty dang good. Do the math on that. It's at 1.66. So I'm about to make 1.7. 1.66 is pretty good. That's what I got driving all the way from Prescott to Bonita was 1.66. So that's all very good. See up here. I don't see my water tower yet. Still waiting. That water tower must be further east of town here. I know I have been to it before, or been by there before, but we're not going that way today. Usually I go just out 8 all the way to Gila Bend and then up, but I'm not doing it that way today. I'm going from El Centro here after I recharge. I charge up a little bit, and I'm still at 53%. I will head up to Quartzsite across the desert, which is always entertaining. So no water tower that tells us we're below sea level. Sorry, just have to trust my gauge. And right now it's saying we're back to minus 34. There we go. That was what I got the max before, just in this spot on Imperial Avenue and Ross. If you're looking for the address, there you go. What's it at? Right there it is, Ross and Imperial, and you're at minus 34 feet theoretically. Got 110 miles, and I'm getting 1.67, so not quite 1.7, but pretty close. That's, whoops, why am I so zoomed in? There you go. That's pretty nice. I'm okay with that. All right, charging up 42 kilowatts. And yeah, we have to get creative here. I don't pull exactly in the spot. I pull alongside. Security just came up, made sure I wasn't blocking the traffic on the other side so people can get by. This is a bank. Not the best place for a charger. Supposedly, if you go across the street to the city hall, there's a bathroom over there, and there's supposed to be a good taco place around here. But anyway, we're here. We got 1.67 getting here, and it says it wants to charge up. I think it was, well, it's not telling me anything. Oh, I have to go to nav. There it is, charged to 175 miles, 71%. and then I'm going to go over to Quartzsite, which is, I don't know how far it is because it won't tell you that part until you click on continue. But it wanted me to charge like 15 minutes to get to 70%. I'll probably go ahead and now the RAN over there in Quartzsite, which is nice because that's only 36 cents a kilowatt versus this 42. But still, I'd like to make sure I get there. So maybe I'll charge up to like 80% anyway. And as it were, my wife is coming in the other car, but she took the other way. Long story, but she's going to meet me in Quartzsite, and her ETA right now is 3:30, and mine is like 2:11. If I would charge it the 15 minutes, so I can charge here a little bit longer, just give myself some buffer to get there, and should be fine. We're clicking along, not very fast, 97, 98. You'd think it'd be faster than that, but we are at 54% charge already. So still, I should get like over 100 until it gets to about 70. That's my typical charge rate. I am charging a 150 kilowatt charger because that's the one on the end, and that's what you kind of have to do when you come into these things with a trailer. You go across the desert, Rivian Adventure Network, 54 miles on arrival, 120 miles to get there, and it says I have 195 miles worth of range when I'm charged up to 79%. I charged up, it said it wanted to charge to 71%. It said it was going to take 15 minutes, but I don't know. I have it set to arrive at 25%, but it seems to ignore that. So I went ahead and charged up to 80%. I just figured I want a little bit more buffer because, again, as I said, I'm going to arrive there well ahead of my wife anyway, and I'm going to have to charge up there for a long time. So it doesn't matter to charge up here a little bit more, just for a little safety margin, because there ain't nothing in the desert. Anyway, charged up for 29 minutes and got to 80%, and then I took off here, and it says I'm going to get there now with 54 miles, whatever that works out to be. It's still a little green bar. I think if you take 54 and it's about 240 miles, so the 50 that's about 20% approximately. So that's still a good zone. I like that's why I target usually is like 20%. I like to arrive with 20%, just because it gives me a little bit of splash room in case I get stuck in bad traffic or have to make a detour or whatever it may be. So looking good. It's bouncing between minus 40 and minus 36. There's minus 39. So we're getting down here. We're getting down, excuse me, rock bottom. Yeah, sorry. The puns are free. What we got here? 37, so it's locked in. Okay, there's the water tar, but that's not the water tar I'm looking for. It probably doesn't say, because there's a big ground level one that says, sea level, has a line that says sea level written across it. You can probably just Google it. I could Google it. I haven't probably taken a picture in the past. If I find it, I'll insert a picture of the water tower in El Centro with the sea level line on it. Dang, we are getting low here. There's minus 50. Maybe that minus 70 was on this route when I took it before. Yeah, minus 51, minus 52.
Thanks to route found by CA78 East and I-10.
Oh look, I got an alternate route. I'm gonna have to see if that makes any sense. It must have been out here. Look at that. How low can you go? It's minus 66, 67. It must have been driving when we were out here. Sorry, now minus 68. Yep, this is to minus 70. We're out here, it's farm country in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Just north of El Centro, heading across the desert up to Quartzsite. Well, I guess, do we go along? I think we're on the far side of the Salton Sea. So, yeah, the Salton Sea is over there, and we're going way out over here. And you're going through the little Colorado River Delta there, so it's a little bit nicer. A lot more gardening. farming over that way. So all good. It says we're gonna get there with 55 miles still, which is pretty much my estimate was earlier. So all good. A long way to go. A lot of this. And let's go ahead and check the elevation one more time. Minus 75, a new record on here. Never minus 76. Holy cow! How low can you go? It gets pretty low out here. Minus 77. Imperial Sand Dunes. I think we're heading towards Glamis here. A fee area, a place where people do a lot of off-roading. You can see a lot of off-roading tracks over there. But I don't see too many off-roaders right now. Probably the weekend they'll be crowded, but right now not so much. Imperial Sand Dunes Recreation Area. Coming to the dune area now. Hey, if you look real close, well, let me zoom up there so you can look a little closer. There are a couple of guys out there, kind of over the hill now. Wait till they pop back up. There are some people out there on, up there they are along the top of the ridge over there. It's like ATVs maybe. Maybe they're side by sides. They're really kind of on the edge of things. I can see now only one, and he just disappeared. Still people out there enjoying themselves, and the sand blows up on the road here. And yeah, it is a 65, and I'm still doing my standard 60. But that's okay. People can pass me. It's not like it's a real busy road. It's kind of a cool view coming down the hill there from the Osborne Overlook. Here we are. Welcome to Glamis, home of Camp Razor. Glamis Beach Store. The booming metropolis of Glamis. I think that was it. We are now through Glamis. Oh, bumpity bump. And now it's 40 miles to Green Stick. And Blythe was 60. These are the big whoopses. Look at this. Somebody at the bottom here. Out here in the desert that messed up autopilot years ago. FSD now does this pretty nicely, but this used to freak autopilot out because when it goes down the dip it sees nothing but wall in front of it, and it freaks out, thinks it's going to hit something, because right now it just sees wall, and then it goes up the thing and it sees nothing but sky, and it thinks, where'd the road go? And so it would panic out. FSD seems to handle it beautifully now, but there it is, dips. Yeah, there are dips. But I did slow up on these because I don't want to bottom my trailer out or anything. Ugh. And they are more brutal than they look like, quite honestly. Oh, there's somebody else bottomed out here. I'm going to take it easy. 41 miles an hour. That's not exactly tearing it up, but I don't want to tear it up. That's the point. And more dips. Yay for me. nowhere in the desert, and we are a couple hundred miles from my old home and a couple hundred miles from my new home, so no doubt I didn't get a lot of experience on this road, but when I went out here I'd be able to check it out. But this is not the normal way I would go between Prescott and San Diego. Maybe it is now, I don't know. We'll see. It is a kind of a fun thing to do though with autopilot, and watching it go up and down the hills now successfully. Before it was really freaking out. It was pretty funny. We are in Palo Verde, and I did notice that I'm now down to estimated 45-mile arrival, so I did lose 5 miles from original estimate, or 6 miles, and maybe 10 miles from the one point tablet was saying was 55. So that did vary a bit. I'm not quite sure why. I haven't really been doing anything crazy. I was going more or less the speed limit, except for like on those bumpy things. And other times when I slowed up, and then there was some construction back there that I did go slow through. But overall, I've been maintaining speed. This is 35 zone. I'm doing 35 in the big town of Palo Verde. And here we are entering Riverside County line. Yay! And in the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. So let's pick up the pace. There, we're back up to my 60. And we should be off and running. We're getting close up here to I-10. And some various left and right turns to get up to I-10 and then straight into Quartzsite. Still 45 miles, and we've got 41 miles to go, and I've got 45 miles worth of range when I get there. So I think I'm good. It says right here 98 miles left, and 41 and 45 add up to 86. So that's still off from that, but I think the problem here is again, this rated range is based on straight flat 55 miles an hour, whatever. And Quartzsite is an elevation gain from here. I think we go up a couple thousand feet to get there. So that's why it consumes a little bit more than just flat ground. And of course, we're still going to be going up pretty much the whole time. I got down to as low as, what was it? Oops. I think 82 feet. Oh, come on, man. As low as 88 feet. That's what I did. 88 feet below sea level. That was the low point of the trip. So that was really getting down there. But anyway, from there it's all uphill to home at 5,200 feet. So mostly climbing, mostly getting worse than it was. This is at 1.56. So I'm assuming it's just going to get worse from there. We'll see what I get home with. 1.5 is what I did, I thought, last winter, but I think maybe when I first took the trailer over there, the first time ever, I did a lot more, just 55, because that's what I was used to with the Tesla. But later on I figured out that I can do 60 and still make chargers without a problem. So maybe I won't get the 1.5 that I did in the winter time, because I am going 5 miles an hour faster as a general rule.
In 1 mile, turn right onto California 78 East.
We have made Interstate 10, and yeah, I'm basically locked in my cruise control going the same speed as this truck ahead of me. And we're occupying the right lane, and people are going by on the left without a problem. There's an ID4. How about that? And we've got 23 miles to go. It says it's going to arrive at 45 miles, which is less than originally predicted, but 5 miles, come on, I'm happy with that. That's pretty good. Right now it says I have 78 miles to go. I just checked the Tesla app, and my wife is aborted. She was going to Quartzsite as well. She's coming across the mountain, or across the desert, I should say. Kind of actually behind me, but she came across the, I can't remember what it's called now, the other hills that go towards Palm Springs, but you go down. Anyway, over Benner Grade, I think, one of those two, through Borrego Springs, something like that. Anyway, she was originally going for Quartzsite herself, and it said she's going to get there with plenty of range, but I just checked the app, and she's now boarded to Ehrenberg, which is a little bit before the climb to Quartzsite, and she's going to get there with 11%, so she will be charging up to come up to finally meet me at Quartzsite. So our Tesla was not very good at estimating on this particular lake, and I should have told her that myself, because I know that it has a problem getting that lake for some reason. But the Rivian here, pretty decent. Yeah, 5 miles short of my original. I'm okay with that. We'll see what I really get when I get there, and it's only 22 miles away, and 22 miles of climbing, and maybe drafting this truck will help. Not that I'm trying to draft the truck, but he's just like locked there. I thought he'd be going faster, because we're still in California, I guess. We got to cross into Arizona, and then he can pick up his pace. In California, he's supposed to be doing 60 miles an hour. Actually, supposed to be doing 55, but 60 is close enough for the truckers. And maybe because we're climbing a little bit, that could be it too. Arizona state line. Of course, it took me a while to get the camera out as we crossed the Colorado River and entered Arizona. And I believe that right there is the Ehrenberg. Yep, the Tesla supercharger's right there. That's where the wife will be headed. She's about 60 miles away still behind me. Oh, there it is. Welcome to Arizona. Yay, the Grand Canyon State. And we are in Arizona. Yay. I just have to go 17 more miles to Quartzsite. That's all it is, 17 miles. And now we're going to get to 46, so I got a mile back. So, again, we'll see what we have when we actually get there. And see, we are climbing up the hill to Quartzsite, 12 miles. This is just it. Keep climbing. Keep climbing. Reservation. Only up to 756 feet. Sorry, zoomed out. We're only up to 780 feet now. It is climbing pretty fast, and we're averaging 155, so I imagine that number is going to go down as we continue to climb and then climb up to Prescott. Will I get the 1.5 because it's warmer, even though, yeah, we're going to find out. I'm betting it's not going to be the 1.5. I would like it to be, but we'll see. There is some really slow towards the end when you have to go the twisty windies, and we're going to go 30 miles an hour, so that might help. But you're still climbing like nobody's business, so maybe it won't help so much. Really good beef jerky over there. That's where the Rivian, not the sign, but the jerky place is where see, really good fresh jerky there too. That's where the Rivian Adventure Network chargers are.
In a half mile, take exit 17.
Time to turn. So we're there. We're getting there with, what's it say? I still got 50 miles here, and I've only got, well, a mile to go. Less than a mile to go. So we're pretty close. It says 47 here. We'll see what it actually gets when we get there.
Take exit 17 onto US 95 toward
I'm feeling pretty confident
Yuma.
it's going to be more like 49 or 48 than 47. which is pretty dang close to the original, I think, 51-mile estimate.
Half a mile.
So,
Turn left onto Quartzsite Boulevard.
Not bad at all.
Turn left on.
Really fresh jerky. There's the chargers I found for the trailer site.
300 feet.
The best way
Turn
is
left.
to come in this way, go over a speed bump, which I hate. Really good jerky. Really good fresh jerky, whatever. Come around
Turn
here.
left. Then your destination will be on the right.
Look, there's a Adventure Networks. There's another Rivian charging right there.
Your destination is on the right.
And here's the trailer ready spot. And I am in it. Let's go plug in. It says your destination is on the right, continue trip. We don't want to continue trip. We want to charge up. We're at 49 miles. There you go. Can you see that or not? 49 miles. Pretty dang up. Automatically parked. I forgot to put it in park. That's okay. It does it for me. Open up. Heavy stuff. Ooh, charger just kind of hanging here. Might have to put the phone down to wrestle this thing in, which is pretty much typical, because these things are harder to do. Oh, look at that! I got it in there with one hand. That's amazing. See anything here? 36 cents, 50 cents a minute for loitering. This thing, it says 300 kilowatt capable. Don't know. Plugged in. This may take a moment. It's just easier to see inside the car. There's a trailer back there. Still following. Good job. Oh, good golly. It says charge to 100%. Oh, gee whiz. Do I really want to charge to 100%? It's going to take a lifetime to get to 100%. I don't. Percent it says 247 miles projected, not 248. Whatever. That is going to take roughly forever. Am I charging? Yes, finally. Charge limit set 100. I'm at 20%. I'm charging at a screaming 97 kilowatts. It could pick up the pace some. It probably will. There's 99. 102, 108. There we go. Now we're cranking. Still more speed. 130, 140. Ramping up. We're low enough we should hit 200. Is almost 200. Come on, baby. You can do it. Is it not going to do it? I don't know the battery temperatures because it won't show it now that we start charging. Anyway, up 198. Come on, man. 197, 198. That's what we're going to get today. This charger. Good enough, I guess. Time to go find a bathroom and maybe a soda. We are at 1.56 miles per kilowatt right now, and probably going to get worse as we climb up the hill. Burned 150 kilowatts so far to go 233 miles. Woohoo! Okay, back to the car. I've got 58%. I went to the bathroom, got myself a milkshake and some fries at McDonald's just down the street a little bit. Came back to the car and it's at 58%. Theoretically, to get up the hill, I need 100%. 100%. 100%. That's a lot of percent. So I don't know if we're going to do that or if we're going to abort and go around, because I maybe will see. Well, my wife has to get to Ehrenberg and charge up, and then she's going to come up here probably Quartzsite and charge up some more. And when she's ready to go, we'll see what we are. And if I'm good enough to go up the hill, I think I might try going up towards home to Prescott. And we can always abort over to Wickenburg and use the one at the Ford dealer there. Only one charger. Sketch, or just abort altogether and just press on over to Anthem and charge up there and then go up the hill from there, which I've done before with the cargo trailer. This was supposed to be a little bit more efficient. Find kill a fish. We'll see. I really would like to be able to do this shot from Quartzsite to home. I know it's 152 miles or something like that. It's a long way. I'll grant you that. And it is uphill, and I have to climb. I don't know how much I have to climb. What's my elevation here? 1,181 feet. So basically, I got to climb 4,140 feet. That's a lot of climbing to do, pulling 3,000-pound trailer and a 7,000-pound truck. That's 10,000 pounds of crap that you have to elevate 4,100 feet. There's a formula for that. Let's see if I can figure it out. I've been charging for an hour and 22 minutes now and added a buttload. 116 kilowatts total to the battery pack. Did I really have 30 kilowatts when I got here? 20? I don't think so. I don't know how it only says that much, because it's 121 charge time. That's what I pulled. Not sure what that really says there, but because I'm at 99%, yeah, 99%, so almost there. If I look at the nav, I can't really show you the nav because it's got my address on there, but I can say that it says, what's it say, 39 miles when I get there, and I get there at 6:44. Don't know if that's really going to work. I can always abort and say go into Wickenburg and charge up at the Ford dealership there, just abort and go over to Anthem along that route, because I don't have to climb the hill, and I can easily make it to Anthem and charge up and then go up the hill from there, which might be a plan. I think I might try to go ahead and take off. My wife is actually on her way here. She charged up a bit in Ehrenberg, and now she's coming up here to finish up her charge. I told her to wait for the finish, but even it says to get 100%, I got 7 more minutes or whatever. It's 1% is not going to make that much difference to me. So if I go and I keep my speeds down to maybe 55 or 50 instead of 60, that should give me the stretch I need to get there. I forgot that I did the math and everything like that, and multiplied the mass times the gravity force times the height that I have to climb, but I forgot to include the extra distance I have to climb, because we have to actually go over a mountain. I have to go over a 6,000 foot peak, or at least 6,000, something like that, 6,100, whatever it is, and then come back down into Prescott. My house is at 5,200, but I actually have to go over a higher point to get to Prescott. But anyway, just to get to my house from here with the elevation change, the math worked out to be about 50.5 kilowatts of power just to get the vehicle up that much in elevation overall. So a little more than that, because I have to go over, and then you only get 60% of it back coming down the other side, whatever. So plus the flat distance of going there, and it's only 148 miles to my house, not 152. I don't know where I got that one from, but anyway, from here to my house is 148 miles, and which is less than, I totally have 247 miles or whatever it is. But again, I'm going uphill, and that's the part that's really gonna suck it dry. So we're gonna go up the hill, and I think at a reduced rate, and coming to Wickenburg, I'll decide if I want to abort or not, or what I'm going to be doing. But if I head towards Wickenburg at 50 miles an hour, that's the plan. 55. I'll start out 55 on the freeway, and then when I get out the freeway, I'll make an assessment and decide. Because I can always just go around. And I could have left a lot earlier if I was going to go around. But I was kind of waiting for my wife to get herself charged up. But she is just pulling into Quartzsite right now. She charged it at Ehrenberg for a while and let the dog go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom, and she, got enough charge to get up here, plus more than she needed actually to get here. But no, she says the cable's not fully inserted, so she needs to try again. But anyway, she just started charging here in Quartzsite, and so I can get ahead of her again and let her catch up to me, because she does have the car. It'll be faster, and I can, especially if I'm going 50 miles an hour, it'll take a while for her to catch up. So it won't take long for her to catch up, I should say, and she should catch up fairly quickly, even if she's just starting to charge right now. So that's the plan, I think. I'm going to take off and start slow. I think getting out and unplugging or something helped, because it finally popped to 100 as I got out. And so I am at 100%, and it has no regen again. And we are headed out to home. We'll see what happens.
In 1,000 feet,
Boy,
turn left to
vey.
take the Interstate 10 ramp.
Yeah, and it says I'm going to get there with 41 miles, so yeah,
Turn left to take the
that's
Interstate
nothing
10
different
ramp.
than what I just did, more or less, right? So, sure, I'm good. 55 miles an hour, speed limit 75, so trucks are passing me, of course. And this is the crap road. I have to get a lot of beeping from the lines because I'm dodging the potholes. This section of road is horrible. There's just potholes all over the place. Of course, as I show you in the video right now, this is actually a decent section. But I have been, I don't know, decent is a relative term, but I have been dodging potholes, and I will continue to do so until I turn off. I only have to go up 12 miles to get to the exit that kind of angles off towards Prescott. And then I'll probably slow up to 50 just to see if I can get it to stretch. Well, look at that, I've already stretched it. Now it says I'm going to get there with 58 miles. Well, this is feeling good already. I'm liking this. I think I'm okay. Okay, I'm on Highway 60 now. I just got off of I-10. Excuse me. Got off of I-10 and headed up towards, basically, Prescott. There's Wickenburgers off to the side. I don't want to have to do a Wickenburg abort. There's only one charger at the Ford dealership there, and it's not really trailer friendly, so getting a charge there could be tricky. So I really don't want to do that. I think if I went that way, I'd probably just abort and go all the way over to Anthem and up. But right now, it's looking really good. I am just doing 55 on the freeway. It was a bit slow. I mean, 60 doesn't feel bad. 55, just that 5 miles makes a difference, and it feels a lot slower than I like. Maybe I should have done that part at 60 and then just this part at 55. But nevertheless, that gave me a warm fuzzy enough, because now it shows my arrival at 61 miles, which is a better number. I'm still going to stick with the 55 for the minute until we get past Wickenburg, and until I'm really kind of committed. And I'm about to come back down the hill. I certainly can. It basically gets downhill to Wickenburg, so if things fail, you just turn around and go back down the hill and regen as you do, and it's all good, more or less. There's People's Valley in between it's a downhill and uphill, but still, all in all, it's mostly downhill, so it's pretty easy to do. I think we've gone with a Tesla from Prescott to Wickenburg very comfortably with only like 40% or so on the battery, and still got there no problem. So I think turning around and going back down will be easy enough if I decide I have to abort at some point in time. But I don't like to abort. I like to come up with a good plan to start out with. But I think with 61 miles now estimated, and it's been doing a pretty dang good job of estimating, even if it's off by 10 miles and I get there with 51 miles, I don't care. As long as I can get over that one peak. And that's one place that the Tesla has a nice graph that I wish the Rivian did. It shows you your trip graph, and it shows your energy level along that trip. And so I know that sometimes when I'm going over mountain peaks, it says I'll get to the charger on the other side with 17%, but, well, what do I have at the peak? That's the part that I really want to know about. And, sometimes that's really low at the peak, but then I get over the peak and I'm good. I mean, once I was really low, and I went into, well, it's a long story short, but anyway, I had to try and get to Pendleton. I had to go over the peak there, and I crossed the peak at 7%, arrived at the charger with 11% because it was basically downhill. But the big trick was not the arrival thing that the Rivian's given me. It's what's my minimum value going to be in this whole trip. And if you're going over a mountain, that minimum value is probably going to be at the top. That would be a number I'd like to see, but I think I'm okay if I get there with now 62 miles. Should be good. My 45 plan was a good one. I am now sitting at 72 miles of range upon arrival at my home, and we only have 54 miles to go. So I'm really good enough to pick up speed. This is a construction zone, so it's a 46 or 45 zone, because they've torn up the road here. Anyway, I'm plugging along slowly, but I could probably pick up to my normal 60 miles an hour if I wanted to at this point in time, because now we got 72 miles of range and only on arrival, I should say, and 53 miles to go. I think I'm pretty safe to go whatever speed I really want to go. But right now it seems to be 45 because they've stripped the surface off the road. And then if you see up there, way up there, that's the end of the straight part of the road. And then we start the twisty windies for the first set. Then there's a straight section, and there's more twisty windies to come up to Prescott. But this is the first set of twisty windies. And here, the speed limit's 45. The speed limit up there on the twisty windies, I think, is 35. So no more time to go really fast anymore anyway. So successful mission, getting up the hill, the 148 miles to home, and extreme elevation change, all good. Pulling with the Rivian A2124 Alto Safari. Now on this part of the twisty windy, the first set, maybe he's okay. I didn't see any sign that says no big ass trucks. But I'll bet he doesn't do the second twisty windy. Or if he does, he's in trouble. Ooh, I just got to the single lane. Ooh, ahead of him. I didn't realize it was that close. Alright. We have free road now. And we're going to use it. I'm still sitting at, now 75 miles getting home. Seriously? I got plenty of buffer. And a coyote crossing the road right there. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I did. Just crossing the road with a little coyote. The last straight section of road before we hit the twisty windies all the way to Prescott. No passing zone. This is the 55 zone right here. It was 65, but just before you get here, it changes to 55. And we've got a little bit of straight left. And it's going to drop to, I think, 35. For the entertaining section of the road. Not the twisty windies I'm talking about. This is all very, very straight. I'm going to jump the gun a bit, because it doesn't start until right around this curve. Curve, mountain grades, next 19 miles. And that is it. 35 miles an hour. And I think it's goodbye cruise control. Gonna have to do this on my own. Autogate. Watch for animals next 6 miles. Great. Okay. Open range. And here we go. Watch for ice. Nothing over 40 feet. Now that I think it means trucks, or if it's a trucks with trailers, I'm pushing it. The trailer's 21 feet and the truck is about 18. So I'm kind of right at the limit if you count both. But I've taken this road several times with this trailer down. This is the first time ever up. So it's kind of new on that front. But I've come down this road maybe only a couple times with the trailer. So I'm gonna have to put the phone away here. Camera, let's call it a camera. I'm gonna have to put the camera away. So I can focus on getting this rig up the hill. Right now, yeah, pretty much just 35 all the way to Prescott this way. And I'm gonna arrive with 75 miles. It says I'm sitting at 102 miles, and it's 26 miles to my house. So that's actually tracking pretty close, but whatever, the rated range. But that's because I have to go so slow. Even though I'm going uphill, it's going so slow, so there's no drag. And no, this isn't even the twisty, windy part yet. This is still just, I would call this the twisty part, not twisty and windy. Because there are some hairpin turns up here. It really gets you going. And that did hook up a semi-truck trying to come up the hill when I was coming down a couple weeks ago with the trailer, and he was going up and he was holding up all kinds of traffic because he shouldn't have been on the road. I don't know if he ever, I assume he finally made it up, but he had to take the whole road and had to wait people block around the corners and all kinds of weird things to get him up the road that he shouldn't have been on in the first place. He clearly missed those signs, or just ignored them, either way. Just switched to nighttime mode on the displays, and we've gotten out of the twisty windies, the slow ones. There's still some, you know, going through the woods here. It's still curvy, but it's not nearly as bad. This is a 45 zone theoretically versus the 35 and 25 and 20 and 15, whatever that you get to do on the other part. But this is a very pretty part. I like this part. I like all the trees. We are doing fine. I got 34% left. A rated range of says 86 miles and only 15 miles to my house. And it says we're going to arrive with 75 miles. So all very good. This road is doable. If I did it again, what would I do differently? I'll wait until I get home before I make that call, but I think maybe only charge to 90% and still do 55. But do 55 with only 90% because you got to 90% fairly quickly. That last 10% took forever. That took probably, you know, half an hour or something like that. It was a long time to get that last 10% to go ahead and try to get it full to go up the hill. That is what I wanted. But I think I have my settings set to arrive with 25%, so maybe that's what we're shooting for. But simply slowing down at 5 miles an hour really made the difference anyway, so I'm okay with doing 55 on that road if necessary. I prefer 60, but if you have to slow up a little bit to make the gap, then slow up a little bit to make the gap. Not a problem. Anyway, that's probably good enough. I'll get the final stats at home. But here we are, entering Prescott. Elevation 5,300, founded 1864. Yeah, you're in town now, can't you tell? Yeah, this is Prescott. Love it here. We're 2.2 miles from being downtown. Coming into downtown proper.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto West Gurley Street.
Right on Whiskey Row here. Downtown Prescott.
Turn right onto West Gurley Street.
Turning right on West Gurley Street. And there we go.
Continue for 1.5 miles.
And downtown Prescott. It's not too big downtown. This is old downtown, historic downtown, whatever they call it. All right, I made it back.
Continue for a half mile.
In no time, well, not no time, and plenty of time to get to storage, i.e. my storage facility closed at 7:30, and I was pulling down the street to turn onto it at 7:25, so I got to the storage facility at around 7:27, but I was able to get in
a quarter
and
mile.
drop things out of the trailer and then skedaddle out of there. So I didn't look at the miles remaining when I arrived, but I can tell you it was 31%. And so 31%, it means that I could have easily done what I did and it charged only up to 90%, which is probably what I'll do next time, is just charge 90% and still do 55. Better time savings for me than trying to get up to 100% and just do 60 miles an hour. So lessons learned there. That was still a good adventure overall for the whole trip coming back. I got 1.55 miles per kilowatt, and going out from here to there I got 1.66. So the big cheat this time. All right, anyway, the big cheat this time was I did do 55 from Quartzsite up. I didn't go faster than that, except for just a little bit towards home here. I got on the highway and I went to 60 miles an hour, but that was very short. So that's really the cheat. If I were to do it again, yeah, I think I would do the same thing, except for only charge it to 90%. I would have been home. Okay, sorry about the abrupt end there and so forth, but I didn't turn off my nav, which I should have done, and it's giving the directions right to my house, which I don't really want to put on a video. So I kept cutting the sound out at the very end there, and finally just chopped off because the nav was over talking me anyway, so it really wasn't helping much. So anyway, that was the whole trip. At least parts of it. Sorry it was long and boring and lots of parts. Hopefully you found some value out of it and can compare it to your own personal towing trips. Bottom line is, yes, I've done it a lot now, towed the trailer around a lot, and with a Tesla for sure, and only a few times this trailer with the Rivian. We have a cargo trailer. I've towed a bit more miles back and forth when I was moving from San Diego to Prescott. So, but anyway, I guess I have a little bit of towing experience, a lot of towing experience in my youth. I used to actually drive truck and pulling, 80,000-pound loads and things like that in my youth. It's been a few years since I've done that, but I have driven, various kinds of trailers and all kinds of things behind trucks. So towing is not that big of a deal to me. Towing with an EV was a new experience, but it's not that big of a deal, and we EV all over the place. So I'm just used to it. I really enjoy a good EV road trip, and slap a trailer on the back, no different. It's just a good EV road trip, and we have a good time. And I hope you get some inspiration and decide to do the same for yourself and get out there on the road and just enjoy cruising down the highway in an EV. And yeah, stopping every couple hours for a little recharge for the car and recharge for your own personal self. Thanks for watching. Till next time.